all the juice straight from the maker booth. Welcome to the Booth Juice. Welcome back to another episode of the Booth Juice. I am so excited to listen to this guest story today. She is probably one of the most intelligent and passionate people in her field, and I'm so excited to learn more about the world of coral. So please welcome Shania from the Forever Reef Project.
Thank you so much
for being on today.
To be here.
I am so fascinated by your story and how you got into this world. So would you mind painting a picture for those listening about what you do, how you got into this field, all of that sort of stuff?
Of course. So I did not grow up by the ocean.
Yeah.
So my curiosity started because the ocean, the reef, it seemed like this fantasy land. It seemed like something that was unreachable almost.
Yeah.
A fairy tale, if I would say.
It's like snow for Australians.
Exactly, because I grew up in the snow.
Yeah.
So I'm from Minnesota originally, so kind of landlocked.
Wow.
But we got a lot of snow, and it was very cold. So definitely my life growing up, I just adored animals. And that's where it all started, is I wanted to see animals everywhere, and I wanted to take care of them, make a difference for them. So, yes, growing up in the snow, the second I turned 18, I was like, see ya!
Yeah.
And I moved to Florida.
Wow.
And that's because I wanted to be a marine scientist. Something I always wanted to be, and I finally made it happen. And, of course, it's nicer to be by the ocean when you're studying to be a marine scientist.
Yes. Well, you've had your time in the snow, so you can move to warmer
exactly.
spots.
And that was the best decision I ever made. So I started studying marine science in Florida. My university was beautiful. It was surrounded 3 sides by water, and we'd wake up in the morning and there would be manatees and dolphins swimming by. And I decided to study abroad. Of course, as a marine scientist, it's something that's always in the back of your mind is the Great Barrier Reef, the Great Barrier Reef.
Yes.
I have to see it.
Yeah.
So I did it. I chose to fly to Australia for a semester. I never thought that I would still be in Australia. It was supposed to be a semester.
So what year was that?
2017.
Oh, wow.
And I saw the reef, and that was it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that something that beautiful actually existed. How is this real?
Goosebumps.
How is this real? Why isn't everybody coming here to see it? I had to go home for a semester, but I had a big decision to make where there was one summer where I got an internship to train sea lions, or I could move back to Australia. It was like I had a couple weeks to make that decision, and I remember one day it just hit me, and I was like, I have to do it. Like, I just have to do it. So I walked into the international office and just signed the papers and did it. And I moved with a one-way ticket to Australia when I was 19.
Wow.
So that was the start of chasing that marine science dream, that Save the Reef dream. Is like, I just had to do it. I also fell in love with a boy while I was over here, so that also helped with the one-way
That just
ticket.
makes it a little bit sweeter, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I just finished my degree here.
Yeah.
So technically I have a zoology, ecology, and marine science degree.
Incredible.
Which is nice. So I got to study the reef, but also study the rainforest a bit.
Yeah.
And just started getting my foot in the door in the aquarium industry. That was a bit random because I was just trying to get experience everywhere.
Yeah.
So volunteering in labs, volunteering in the university aquarium, in zoos, in turtle rehab centers, just trying everything out.
Yeah.
And the beginning of that industry is messy. It's a lot of cleaning.
Yeah.
But that started the foundation of what you needed to learn in that aquarium industry.
Absolutely.
Maintaining the life support, cleaning it, water chemistry, animal health. So started volunteering. Eventually my career, I worked at the Cairns Aquarium for like 4 or 5 years. I was one of the divers in the tanks feeding the sharks, if you've ever been there and seen that.
Wow, that's so interesting.
So that was really fun. Yeah. And then my other dream was to see whale sharks. So my partner Wyatt and we moved to Western Australia for a few years.
Amazing.
And I worked at that aquarium, the Ningaloo Aquarium.
How was that experience?
And that was amazing.
Yeah.
But that was totally different of how to run an aquarium in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Where you have to be ready for everything. You need to be prepared. So that was another just incredible decision in my career that, yes, it was hard, but I wouldn't be where I am today without making that hard decision.
Absolutely.
So that was fun. I did get to see the whale sharks, so that was exciting.
Yeah.
I ended up managing that aquarium over there.
Amazing.
And then I just remember one day I was siphoning a turtle tank and I saw the job description for the facility manager for the Forever Reef Project. Yeah. And it was everything that I've ever trained my whole life to do. So wildlife, like education, conservation education, but also managing an aquarium facility.
Amazing.
And I saw it and I was like, it's a sign, I have to do it. And then we made our way back here, where it all began, in the Great Barrier Reef. So it did feel like coming home a bit.
And was that was about a year ago now, or further?
It's been a whole year.
Yeah,
it was beginning of March last year.
Oh,
so it's just a 1 year anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Well, we were really fortunate to go and take our team to your amazing experience down at the marina. If you haven't been, please go. Shania runs about an hour session. You get to learn all about the coral, as well as, actually go and see what they're doing down there to, restore. But I'll let you talk more about that. So what do you actually do down there? For people that have seen your posters coming into town, what exactly is happening down there?
So what's so exciting is that the Forever Reef Project is the first living coral biobanks dedicated to safeguarding the biodiversity of corals on the Great Barrier Reef. Meaning we are collecting and storing, ultimately, every single species for their ultimate conservation.
It's incredible.
It's amazing that it's here in Port Douglas.
Yeah.
This is where the dream all began with Great Barrier Reef Legacy. And I think the best part, too, about having tours, like the one that you came on the other day, is there's a lot of responsibility when it comes to taking care of these ecosystems. Yeah. And a lot of that starts with that education side of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to understand things before we take care of it. So, we're a working lab every part of the day, except for the 1 hour tour every day.
Yeah.
At 11:45, Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Book in.
Now, where you can really come up close and personal with all of those species.
Yeah.
And it's very special to share.
Yeah, so when you're not doing your tours and teaching, the community about it, what exactly is going on in the space? Because I know there's a lot of work that goes into what you guys do.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And that's why it's a good balance at the moment that we have got the 1 tour a day. Eventually we'll have more than that. But behind the scenes, maintaining and the life support systems, keeping those corals as healthy and happy as possible. Yeah. There's a lot of hands-on work. So a lot of maintenance, but also a lot of perfecting and stabilizing the water chemistry. Yeah.
That's something I found really fascinating when you started talking about the tour. So there's so much that goes into...
There's so much.
Chemical balance and things,
Especially in a biobank facility. So the idea of the parameters that we try to hit within a biobank is to make these reef systems as stable as possible. Yeah. So we create every single process of the ocean, natural filtration. We mechanically have to make some of it, but it's that chemistry side of things that we perfect. Recreating every reef chemistry. So inshore reef, offshore reef. Yeah. But the number one most important thing for stability is maintaining a nice, cool, stable temperature. Yeah. So my job is, running around, making sure that everything's getting done, making sure the corals are all staying happy and healthy, but just making sure every single tank is as stable as possible.
Yeah. And you've got different tanks for different kind of, not climates, but how would you describe them? Just different areas of the reef?
The way I like to explain it is, if you have a offshore reef setting that's a bit more clean, more pure water quality, you don't want as much waste or nutrients moving around, whereas when I'm imitating an inshore reef environment, you do have to recreate all that runoff from river systems, like sediment, lots of algae, lots of food for bigger corals. So just balancing all of those natural processes. And it's amazing because some of the corals that we have on site have actually never been collected before. So we're seeing and monitoring some of their behaviors for the first time. And I'm kind of leading the way for the written records for those species too.
That's incredible.
So I like to call myself a coral mother. Coral mom.
That's so nice. So obviously, like, it's so important to keep these aquariums at the right temperature. I guess what you're trying to show is like the prime environment for them, as opposed to maybe what's happening in the natural world. Can you tell us more? I know like a lot of people that come into the store or come to Port Douglas are very much like, oh no, the reef is dead, or it's been bleached or whatever, but they throw terms around what they don't really know what they're talking about. And
that's exactly right. It's a bit misunderstood what bleaching actually is and what the stresses that we're seeing actually mean for the reef. The reason why we're creating a biobank is to have an insurance policy for these species. Ultimately, yes, collecting them all, but also sharing them with researchers and restoration efforts to make sure that we're doing everything the very best way, getting the answers that we need. And that's because we're seeing change happen on the reef that we've never seen before. When you think about coral bleaching and when people ask about it, it's important that we know that bleached coral is not dead coral. Bleached coral is just showing us that those animals are sick or stressed, reacting to something changing in their environment. And it's not that bleaching isn't normal. Bleaching is normal. That's the natural stress response that coral has to change. But it's not normal in the frequency in which we're seeing it. And that's something I want everyone to understand when they come on tour too, is yes, coral can respond to change, but it's formed perfectly for millions of years at a specific temperature that sadly the way that we're changing the world, and they can't quite adapt to that. We've had 6 mass bleaching events in the last 9 years.
That's huge.
Which is huge. And I think sometimes we don't understand what that means. It even looks like we're reaching 7 this year in 10 years.
And so, like, in comparison to prior to that, you would have not seen bleaching happen anywhere near as often?
Not as often. There's records that we see it here and there. There's also a difference between just bleaching versus mass bleaching. Mass bleaching means pretty much over 80% of the Great Barrier Reef bleach, which when you think of an ecosystem that big,
isn't it?
That's a lot. Every single mass bleaching event has had to do with temperature. So just unprecedented temperatures. So 30, 31, 32, too many emissions. And that's exactly it.
So can you kind of explain your process on how you get these samples and what you do with them, in order to...
So we're pretty lucky being in the marina. That's where we are, Crystalbrook Super Yacht Marina, if you want to come say hi. Because the boat after collections gets to come straight to the marina. Which is amazing. That eliminates stress for those corals, because it's our goal, again, to eliminate stress from their lives. Kind of your last question, what's the difference between parameters in the biobank versus on the reef, is we're not having them feel that temperature change. If you give them everything they need, they will live forever. And it's pretty cool that we've perfected those means and methods. But yes, we bring them in. They go through quarantine for about 2 weeks to 4 weeks, depending on the corals and how they're doing. Quarantine is kind of like my coral spa time. So we give them a bath.
You just make sure that they're not bringing in any sort of, I don't even know what corals have, viruses,
pests, things like that.
Cool.
Once they pass quarantine, then we do something called fragging.
And
fragging is when you take that parent colony and kind of cut it up into little pieces. And that's so we have more samples of that species. Because our goal is to share them.
And that's what you see in the aquariums, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what you'll see in our tanks, is every single fragment is on its own little base. Yeah. And each base has a microchip in it with all of its information, which is my favorite part.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So then when we were there, something that you can do to help is you can adopt a coral, which is really cool. And it's so simple, and it's, I don't know if you can choose, but I think it's like $20 a month or something, just to help fund this incredible, initiative. But with those microchips in them. So we were generated like a certificate, and then it told us exactly what species of coral that we've adopted. And so we can now go and monitor that ourselves as well, which I think is an incredible concept.
And it's amazing. It's pretty exciting. That's something we're really hoping to push this year.
Yeah.
But I think the Adopt a Coral is so special in the fact that you're a part of making it happen. Everyone that adopts a coral is a part of safeguarding biodiversity. Your support is helping us care and maintain the entire collection. Yeah. And you will get updates about your coral, about the project. Yeah. So that little subscription is something that also helps us. Yeah. We are a non-profit organization, so everything that we do is all sponsors and supporters that believe in us, and they're backing us every step of the way. So thank you for your adoption.
Oh, of course.
No, you're a coral mom too.
Yeah, I'm a coral mom. I can't remember the name of it, but I will try and learn it. But so you must have a really good group of. How many staff do you have, or volunteers?
Great question.
Must take a few of you to keep it all going.
One of the best parts about our team is that everything that we do is also run by local scientists and local volunteers, just with that passion to take care of coral and preserve the Great Barrier Reef. There's 6 of us that work for Great Barrier Reef Legacy. Yeah. 2 of us are full-time. And the rest is local volunteers that help us. There's a lot of different volunteering things that locals can do. So helping with husbandry, cleaning some algae. Yeah. I call it coral cleaning. You get a little toothbrush and help clean their base. Yeah. Or the education side of things. Yeah. So helping with presentation prep. Hopefully eventually doing presentations with our team too. Yeah. And my goal of this year is to push for market stall.
Oh, fantastic!
So that would be
That'd
fun
be great.
Too.
Yeah,
we're slowly
with some
acquiring
merchandise,
little coral merchandise, which
fantastic.
Is fun. And that's it. It's just the beginning, and there's so much potential of where this project will lead. Yeah, not just for our little facility, but for conservation for all coral species.
Yeah. So when we were at your tour, you started explaining, the future of this initiative as well, and starting to see that some, more biobanks are being built. Am I correct in saying that?
So the way that I like to say it is we've kind of perfected the way to keep coral safe and stable, and we want to share it. So we're developing the First Nations Coral Biobank Network. So we're working together with traditional owners in this area to develop I like to call it kind of an off-grid version of a biobank, something that we'll perfect here. We're working first with our local Irukandji traditional owners to develop the first hub. Once we perfect this pilot hub, we'll start to expand them along the length of the Great Barrier Reef, then to other reefs around Australia, so Ningaloo, and then potentially starting with other reef systems around the world.
That's incredible.
So it gets to start here, which is really exciting. Yeah. That also will strengthen the insurance policy for the corals too. Yeah. So even when you came on site, you've noticed I have a lot of samples of every species, and that's because the goal is to share them with every Forever Reef hub that we create.
Oh, that's
so we've got a lot of work to do. Yeah. But we're very determined to make it happen. So it's exciting for everyone to follow along as that vision comes to life. And that's what I find is working the best so far is spreading the word. Yeah. Everyone that comes, just telling one person, local spreading the word, making a post. Yeah. This is the year to spread the word as we start to get up to that 415 species mark.
Yeah. So can you tell us more about that? So it's 450, 50 or 15?
15.
Okay, yeah.
Hard coral species.
How many have you got of that already?
We're just about at 200.
That's
so
incredible.
About halfway there.
Wow.
And we've done that in 12 diving days.
Wow. That's very, like, not that many.
It's
wow. That's an efficient.
It's efficient to get out
team.
there.
Yeah, amazing.
And I have 90 new colonies in quarantine at the moment. So we're getting there.
You must be a proud coral mom.
I walk in every day. I'm like, hello, babies.
No, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's just amazing once.
Yeah.
Give them everything they need, how happy and healthy they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really want to emphasize that if you haven't been down there, you really should go. I took our team, or some of our team, down there a few weeks ago, and we all came out of it so inspired, but also felt a little responsibility as well. We really felt like, yes, this is a great reminder that I think when you grow up here, you can not take it for granted, but it's very normal to be on the ocean and all that sort of stuff. And, obviously tourism revolves around it and, everything. So I feel like as a local, you sort of start to become a little bit, take it a little bit for granted. Not intentionally, but I just think it really re-sparked our passion to go, actually, this is really incredible that we have this at our doorstep, and we really need to be preserving it, not only for our area, but for the health of our planet, like the health of everything. It's all so connected.
And that's what I find so far is one of the best parts too, is even just reconnecting locals with, hey, this is right here.
Yeah, just a reminder.
How lucky are you to be right next to the most biodiverse reef system on the planet.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, which I was also fascinated by a few of those facts too, because I think I knew them, growing up, but then being reminded of them as an adult, to go, hey, you do live on the biggest reef in the world, and that's incredible in itself.
It's mind-blowing, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
I even had a school group the other day, and I said, all right, who's been to the reef? And they all raised their hand. And in the back of my mind, if I was a little kid and I had that in my backyard, it's crazy. Or even, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they all raised their hand. They wanted to be a marine biologist.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a completely different way of life and experiencing the world. But that's where it starts, is the next generation.
Definitely.
And seeing them make those connections.
Yeah.
And that's why, it's so special that everyone wants to come in and have a look.
Yeah.
But just even firing that spark again, is I had a couple in their 90s come in and they left. And they said, thank you, it has made our entire life knowing that coral is alive.
Oh.
And just moments like that. That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to taking care of the reef and making better choices, it does start with that connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really does.
Yeah.
But also reminding everyone how powerful we are all together.
Yes.
That's something that I think a lot of people forget.
I do think that, because it is on such a massive scale, it can be quite daunting, because you're like, how do I save the planet, essentially? Exactly. And where do I even begin? And is anything I do even going to make a difference?
Exactly.
It's really cool to see that, your team is just showing an example of,
it feels like a heavy topic, but there's also a lot of privilege and responsibility to communicate it the best way.
Yeah.
I like to say, again, how powerful we are all together. The butterfly effect is definitely real, where one small decision can lead to huge outcomes.
Yeah.
But we've done it before with big problems in the world.
Yeah.
We've saved whales, we've saved national parks, and something like climate change, it seems daunting. Like, it's something that we have no control over.
Yeah.
But we know exactly what's causing climate change.
Yeah.
We know exactly how to lower emissions. Yeah. And that it does just start with us understanding what those decisions lead to. I think the biggest thing that we can take away is it is our voices that are so powerful in the leaders that we support.
Yes.
In supporting nonprofits and scientists that are working really hard, and supporting better brands that are making more conscious decisions. If we slowly all start to lead in the right direction, then we can really make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just for the reef, but for the whole planet.
So you've been at the Forever Reef Project for about a year now. Is there anything major that you've seen, observing these corals, having them?
So I'm constantly watching their behavior.
Yeah.
All the time. Corals will fight each other, so it's very important that they're in the right spot.
Right.
Where everyone sits in the tank is very thought out about how much space is between them, what light they're in, what flow they're in. But because we're monitoring them so closely every day, we do get to see and notice those subtle changes that you might not see on the reef. We've had a few species change color, change their pigments.
Wow.
That's also because we have some of the most biodiverse tanks in the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that zooxanthellae algae moving through. So changing color. We've also had some species that are completely different species start to merge and grow together.
Wow.
So things that we've just never seen or had answers to. So there's a lot of note taking.
Yeah,
making
a lot
sure
of
we're
firsts happening as well.
monitoring what's going on and how they're responding to things.
Yeah.
Even it's the craziest thing because people forget corals are animals.
Yeah.
Even within the same species, I have corals that are the same exact species, different colors, but have different behaviors. So remember, it's kind of like if your pet, you have two dogs that are the same breed, but think about different behaviors. Like they can be different and respond to things differently.
Oh wow, that's so interesting.
It's pretty fun to just watch that every day.
Yeah, you must associate personalities to
them.
I
do. I tried to name them all, but it got out of hand very fast.
There's a lot of coral in there.
So now with the adopt a coral, I'm asking everyone to name it because then I can have help naming it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
And what's really special about the way that we collect their DNA and get the genetic sequencing too is that some of the corals, because they've never been collected, are being sequenced for the first time. Wow. So we're actually finding new species. We have discovered 3 new species so far, and there's potentially more to come.
Wow.
So that's
Have you been able to name them?
Not yet. There's no Shania coral yet.
Keep an eye
someday.
out.
I've got to find it myself, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's, I think, the best part. We're always learning.
Absolutely.
Always adapting. Always noticing new things. And their growth rates are incredible, too.
Yeah. Like you were saying, like when we visited, there were some that were only in there for a few months and they were huge.
Huge, growing over their bases. Yeah. Some of them are doubling in size faster than every 6 months. So, again, it just shows us that if you give them their ideal conditions, how much energy they have for growth and for their own health.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's amazing to see.
Oh, so that must make you so excited about, what's to come. Is there, what makes you tick the most? What are you so excited about?
That is one of the most exciting parts is we're the smartest we've been in science right now. We've perfected aquarium husbandry over the last 40 years. We know exactly what to do. We know exactly what we're looking for, or how to react to changes in the tanks, or how to research these things in the best ways. But we don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
And I think the most exciting thing is within the next few years, we will get those answers and we'll get to work together to act upon those types of things. Yeah. We are in that period right now where it is the time, it's kind of crunch time, where we're all working really hard to get those answers. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the most exciting thing is how lucky are we to have the biobank as the insurance policy.
Absolutely.
And then we get to use these samples to act upon those answers that we get in the future.
And it makes me excited for the next generation as well because, I obviously grew up here. I went to a reef guardian school in primary school, and there was a lot of, this is a long time ago now, but, I do remember, picking rubbish up off the beach and stuff. So it's really cool to see that next generation has somewhere local to really, absorb all of this information and perhaps make better choices, growing up.
And I've already seen it with when the kids visit, how their eyes light up when they make those connections or when they see it move a certain way. And that's not something that everyone gets a chance to see.
Yeah.
So it really opens the door to experiencing coral in a whole new way.
Yeah.
And actually pushing those decisions. Because we've had a few reef guardians visit, and it's so nice after the tour, after they have a look, we go through what are some things that you can do. And they always have the answers. They always know. They're like, I recycle, I shut off the lights, I spread the word.
Yeah.
And that's where it all begins.
Oh, you should be so proud of all the work that you are doing.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, thank you, really.
It's very special to share.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
You've inspired our team, and I think I've probably said it to every customer that comes in. Have you been down there? Here's a flyer. Go, go, go. Because you lit that spark in me as well, and I hope that imagine that's what everyone feels when they walk out of your tour. So
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's definitely a joy to share, and we're really lucky that we have that opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you, Rain. Thank you for having me.
Of course. If people are looking for the Forever Reef Project, where can they find you?
Good question. So we have our Instagram, Forever Reef Project. Yep. We have our Facebook, Forever Reef Project and Great Reef Legacy. Yeah. So socials for now. But if you want to just book a tour, you can online on our website, www.foreverreef.org. Yeah. Or you can come straight to the marina. Yeah. Ring the doorbell. I'm there every day, Monday through Friday. And the tour is Monday through Friday, 11:45. And you're always welcome to book on. Yeah. And every ticket we sell goes straight back to the project and taking care of the coral. So do yourselves a favor. Please go and check it out. But thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you guys for listening. Please spread the word. And we will have more episodes in your ears very soon. But have a wonderful day and go and do something good for the planet. All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.